Good morning, motivation team. How y'all doing this morning? If you haven't done so already, please thank the Lord that you woke up this morning. Go tell your family you love them. Go tell them good morning. I want to get straight into the video. You know what I'm saying? I want to get straight into the book. But first, let's start off with the verse of the day. And go ahead and grab y'all highlights. Y'all see I got my highlighters ready. Today we got Luke 8:16 and 17. No one lights a lamp and hides it in a clay jar or puts it under a bed. Instead, they put it on a stand so that those come in see the light. For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. If you have a truth of God, you have the responsibility to spread that truth. You have the responsibility to spread that truth in whatever way God puts the opportunity in front of you. Whatever opportunity that you have to give that light that God put inside of you, you need to light it up and let it shine. God didn't light that lamp for you to hide it under your bed. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Gonna be a little long video, so y'all stay with me. So we're in chapter 24 today. Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to his building. Do you see all these things, he asked? Truly, I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Everyone will be thrown down. As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? The disciples, they was really ready to hear when we gonna know this gonna happen, when we gonna know this is that gonna happen. So it was about the right time for Jesus to let his disciples know about the end of age. Since the religious leaders had rejected Jesus, soon they was about to give Jesus to the Romans for crucifixion. So he wanted to give his disciples hope and faith. Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name claiming I am the Messiah and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. So as y'all heard, he said things like false messiahs, false prophets, earthquakes, famines. Those were signs, but those won't be the specific signs of the end. Those things will happen, but it won't be signals. He described them as birth pains. So he's saying like after one event, after another event, it's gonna get worse and worse. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all the nations, and then the end will come. So after Jesus ascends to heaven, his disciples should expect to be persecuted. The persecution of false prophets and the downgrade to society will not prevent the spread of the gospel. And the gospels are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are gospels. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation, spoken of through the prophet Daniel, I'm going to get into that. Let the reader understand. So abomination meant the offensive form of idolatry, and desolation meant destruction. And I'm finna talk about that verse. I'm finna talk about what Daniel had prophesied. It'll be Daniel chapter 11, verse 31. And it says, his armed forces will rise up to desecrate the temple fortress and will abolish the daily sacrifice. Then they will set up the abomination that causes desolation. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the housetop go down to take anything out of the house. Let no one in the field go back to get their cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that your flight will not take place in the winter or on the Sabbath. So even though the disciples had heard what Jesus was saying, they probably saw none of it. But it was still good for them to hear it. Even if Christians won't go into the great tribulation, it is good for them and those who will become Christians in the tribulation to know what will happen during that time. And tribulation, I had to look it up because I didn't know what it meant. It is relatively a short period of time where everyone will experience worldwide hardships, persecutions, disasters, famine, war, pain, and suffering. For then there will be great distress unequal from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive, but for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, there is the Messiah," or "There he is," do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. So if anyone tells you, "There he is out in the wilderness," do not go out. Or "He is in the inner rooms," do not believe it. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever there is carcass, there the vultures will gather. Jesus says this will be the most awful time in history. The terrible wars, plagues, famines, and all that history has seen is going to be nothing compared to when God pours down his wrath on the God-rejecting world. No one should be deceived about the nature of Jesus coming. It will not be a secret or private, but as plain as lightning flashing through the sky. It's going to be false people out there trying to be, "Hey, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I can do this, I can perform magic tricks," and they be doing all the performing magic tricks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Saying that they is what they is, saying what they is, but they ain't. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Then will appear the sign of the man in heaven. And then all the peoples of the earth will mourn when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender, its leaves come out. You know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. Truly I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. All right, y'all. I apologize if it looked a little different. I had to switch phones because my other phone tripping. Jesus gave us a few sequels of end time events. First, catastrophes and persecutions will arise, but those will not be signals. Those will not be signs of the end. The abomination of desolation. After that appears, there will be warnings to Israel to flee after the abomination. Then comes the great tribulation and cosmic disturbances, such as something may appear in the sky. As a result to all that, Jesus Christ will return in glory to the earth. All right, now we're at verse 36. But about that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So y'all remember about Daniel? Y'all remember Daniel the prophet I was talking about earlier in the chapter? He said that Jesus' return will be 1,290 days after the abomination of desolation. The crazy thing is, how could the day of Jesus returning be unknown and at the same time be known? Daniel is a prophet. He's one of the prophets now. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. So when he said the days of Noah, he meant life would be normal. Because y'all remember back in Genesis, when God told Noah to build an ark, and it took him 40 days and 40 nights to build the ark. Day by day was just normal days for everybody else. Not Noah, but for everybody else. Just normal days. Not even knowing Noah building a whole ark over here for disaster. Disaster finna come. It said everybody was drinking, eating, marrying. Life would be normal as usual, while the Son of Man is on the way. Those in the days of Noah were warned. Then judgment eventually came. And those who ignored the signs and warnings It suddenly came in unexpected, and it was unexpected. Two men will be in the field. One will be taken and the other left. Two women will be grinding with a handmill. One will be taken and the other left. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known at what time of night the thief was coming, he would have kept watch and would not have left his house to be broken into. Y'all see how Jesus putting them parables on us? Y'all remember what I told y'all parables was? Heavenly meanings. It was stories told in the heavenly meaning. So, since the day and the hour of this coming is unknowable, Jesus' followers must be on constant guard. We must be on constant guard for his coming. There were two returns of Jesus. One of them was known as the rapture, and the second one was contradictions. Now, I don't know nothing about raptures or contradictions. I heard of them, but I don't know them. I actually want y'all to tell me what it is. You know what I'm saying? I actually want to get some feedback from y'all. Who then is the faithful, wise servant whom the master has put in charge of the servants in the household to give them their food at the proper time? It will be good for that servant whose master finds him doing so when he returns. Truly, I tell you, he will put him in charge of all his possessions. So, Jesus told us that we must carry on while the Lord is gone. Just like that parable, it said that while the master is gone, he's expecting his servant to do what needs to be done. So, while the Lord is gone, we have to be faithful and wise servants who take care of his master's business while he is away. Jesus also promised that we will be rewarded for our diligence. The servant serves the master, but the master knows how to take care and reward the servant. Just do the Lord's will while he gone. You know what I'm saying? He taking care of business. You know what I'm saying? He taking care of business. Let's go ahead and do his will while he gone. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get rewarded. Just have faith. He coming. Just have faith. But suppose that servant is wicked and says to himself, my master is staying away a long time, and he then begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour he is not aware of. He will cut him into pieces and assign him a place with hypocrites, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So, as y'all see, that servant, he was impatient, he was unfaithful. He said, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. He ain't coming back, so I'm finna do what I want to do. He got drunk, doing what he want to do. So, the evil servant who was not ready for the master's return sinned in at least 3 ways. He wasn't about the business the master had left him. He fought and mistreated his fellow servants. He gave himself to the pleasures of the world instead of serving his master. The faithful servant was rewarded, and the wicked servant, he was rewarded for his wickedness. He was put into a place for hypocrites. And that's in for the day. And I apologize for my phone tripping, but as y'all see, I still got it done. You know what I'm saying? I still got this video out there to y'all. I wasn't gonna let nothing stop me. Whatever going on with this phone, I'm gonna find out what's going on with the phone. But I won't go let nothing stop me though. Don't forget to let me know about the verse of the day, Luke 8:16 and 17. Let me know what y'all think. And yeah, y'all have a blessed day. Happy Friday. I forgot. Happy Friday. Ooh, the weekend right there. All I gotta do is go to work and come back home and I'm straight. Hey, the weekend finna be great. I'm so excited for this weekend. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.